Let's get more on the Michigan State-Nebraska game now by welcoming in our next guest from East Lansing. Pat Narduzzi, the man in charge of a defense that only gives up 13 points a game, good enough to join us now. And Pat, last year, the defense only had 20 sacks. This year, 24 already, sixth best in the country, specifically on sacks. Why the turnaround?
You know what, I think our defensive line's a lot more explosive than they were a year ago. Obviously, Coach Gill's done a tremendous job with our defensive line, using their hands. Again, I think there's a lot more confidence up front for what they're supposed to do.
From your perspective as a defensive coordinator, how important is disguise?
It's very important. I mean, if you looked at our defense, most of the time we're sitting in a two-shell, four-man front, except for third down, and we pretty much try to look the same all the time. And then, you know, we have different zone blitzes that we like to show, and we talk about that every week. We think it's real important.
Explain to me what it is Jarrell Worthy's been doing so well this year.
You know, first of all, he's been practicing a lot better than he has in the past. Sometimes he'd go through the motions in practice, but you know, Jarrell was explosive a year ago, but he's playing with great fundamentals. He gets off the ball real fast. You know, some people think he's, you know, listening to a cadence. When that ball slightly moves, he's moving, and that's what he does, is penetrate and cause havoc in the backfield.
Let's go back to last week's game, the Hail Mary. From your vantage point, what do you remember seeing? What do you remember feeling as that play happened?
I remember being at midfield thinking it was a touchdown, and I said, God, I'm going to get a 15-yarder here. But it was the last play of the game. But, you know, what an unbelievable play. You know, I know with whatever time was on the clock, a minute 18 seconds, I know I went up to Kirk Cousins and said, you're going to win the game for us. I know I said that. And he looked at me like I was, you know, like, what are you doing talking to me? And then he went on the field and won the game for us. So, you know, that's what I remember in that last minute.
Yeah, wait a minute. Isn't that like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter? You don't go up to him and talk about it?
Yeah, I guess not. I wasn't an offensive coach. I went and did it.
Well, it seemed to work. Now, what about the defensive side of that? How do you tell your defense to defend a Hail Mary pass? I'm
not telling you. You know, we work that play. We work that play every day, and you know, we call it our victory. And I'm not, you know, not too many people have seen what we do, but I think we've got one of the best victory defenses that there is, and I feel very confident if we get to that position that won't happen.
All right, this week it's Nebraska. What's the key to shutting down their offense?
Boy, the key is to try to practice everything that Bo Pelini and his offensive coordinator, Coach Beck, are doing. They do a ton of stuff. We've obviously got to stop the run, and they run it in various ways. They've got about a dozen different types of option plays that they run. Martinez is obviously the key to their offense. He can run the ball, and he's got explosive speed. So it's just a totally different defense or offense that we faced this year. So we've got to stop the run.
How do you practice against an offense that you haven't seen all year?
You know, just like we normally do. I mean, we got a great system as far as how we practice and get the scout team to do what we want. And that's not going to be the biggest problem. It's finding the time to do it. They have a 20-hour rule. And to defend this offense, you need like 60-hour rule, which gives you 60 hours during the week to work all the different formations and options they do. And we've done a pretty good job of it, but it's quite a bit of offense to try to get a scout team to emulate.
Pat Narduzzi, nice chatting with you. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Well, now here's how MSU looks statistically. Top 10 in the country in all these categories. Points given up, yards allowed, rushing yards allowed, passing yards allowed. Remember, they had 2 games where they gave up 31 points exactly.